Dr. Meyers. Hello everyone, Dr. Meyers here. If you're over the age of 50 or 60, you've likely noticed that your body doesn't bounce back quite as fast as it used to. Maybe a minor scratch takes an extra week to heal, your energy dips in the afternoon, or your joints tell you exactly when the weather is about to change. To protect your independence, you do exactly what you're supposed to. You exercise, you take your prescribed medications, and you load your grocery cart with superfoods. But here's a startling biological fact that most clinical practices fail to tell you. As our livers and intestines mature, the exact same healthy foods that use to supercharge your vitality can suddenly turn your everyday prescription medications into a toxic, dangerous overdose. Today we are pulling back the curtain on 5 otherwise pristine foods, breakfast staples, and healthy habits that inadvertently alter how your body processes medication. We'll cover everything from your morning bowl of grains to a specific fruit most folks over 60 pick up weekly, including the #1 ranked item that most seniors completely miss at the grocery store, which can turn a standard blood pressure or cholesterol pill into a chemical hazard. To understand how a healthy breakfast can accidentally poison you, we have to look inside ourselves. Think of your body's drug metabolism system as an internal cellular repair crew and filtration plant. When you swallow a pill, whether it's for blood pressure, cholesterol, or joint pain, your body doesn't use 100% of it right away. Instead, your small intestine and liver deploy specialized proteins called enzymes to break that pill down. It's a highly controlled process meant to police rogue compounds and lower chronic low-grade inflammation. However, as we cross the age of 60, 2 major physiological changes occur. First, our natural enzyme production begins to decline. Second, our organs experience what clinical researchers call oxidative stress, which you can think of as cellular rust slowing down the machinery. When this system is working perfectly, it filters out just the right amount of medication, so a safe, therapeutic dose enters your bloodstream. But certain superfoods contain highly active natural compounds that act like a wrench thrown directly into this machinery. They can completely knock out your filtration enzymes. When those enzymes are deactivated, your repair crew goes on an unannounced strike. Suddenly, your body cannot break down your daily medications. Instead of being safely filtered, the entire dose floods your bloodstream all at once, turning a safe, doctor-prescribed pill into an accidental chemical exposure. This isn't a minor theory. When you consume certain foods alongside your medicine, the natural active compounds block the critical enzymes in your small intestine wall. Normally, the enzyme metabolizes part of the drug so you get a proper, safe dose. But when that enzyme is blocked, the drug bypasses your natural defenses entirely, leading to dangerous levels of the drug in your body. This biological mechanism was documented in a landmark clinical paper published by Dr. David Bailey and his colleagues in the Lancet. Their research demonstrated that specific compounds can reduce the levels of cytochrome P4503A4 enzymes, the primary defenders in your gut, by up to 47% within just 4 hours of consumption. When these key enzymes are deactivated, your body cannot eliminate normal chemical waste or process medications correctly. The consequences can range from localized organ stress to widespread systemic complications. Let's break down exactly which healthy items cause this, counting down from number 5 to our #1 offender. Let's start with number 5, high-fiber bran and whole oats. We've all been told that a hearty bowl of oatmeal or high-fiber bran flakes is the ultimate way to lower cholesterol and keep our digestive tracts moving. While fiber is crucial for gut health, eating a massive bowl of it at the exact same time you take your morning medications is a recipe for medical failure. The active compound here is beta-glucan, a highly soluble fiber that transforms into a thick, gelatinous matrix when it mixes with water in your stomach. This gel is fantastic for trapping cholesterol, but it is equally efficient at trapping your medications. It forms a physical, molecular shield around your pills, completely blocking them from touching your intestinal walls. For seniors, the real-world stakes are incredibly high. If you take your thyroid medication, known as levothyroxine, or heart failure medication, known as digoxin, with a high-fiber meal, the medicine gets trapped in the fiber gel and passes straight out of your body unused. Your thyroid levels plunge, your energy hits rock bottom, and your heart loses its protective support. You do not have to give up your morning oats. Simply apply the 2-hour separation rule. Take your prescription medications on an empty stomach with a full glass of plain water at least 30 to 60 minutes before breakfast, or wait a full 2 hours after eating your high-fiber grains before taking any pills. Number 4 on our list is yogurt and kefir. Seniors are highly focused on avoiding osteoporosis and preventing debilitating hip fractures, which makes calcium-rich foods like organic yogurt, kefir, and milk a daily priority. Furthermore, many folks believe taking pills with a spoonful of yogurt helps protect the stomach. Unfortunately, dairy products contain high concentrations of ionic calcium. When these calcium ions encounter certain medications in the acidic environment of your stomach, a chemical process called chelation occurs. The calcium binds tightly to the medicine, forming an entirely new, heavy crystalline compound that your stomach completely fails to dissolve. If you are taking vital antibiotics like ciprofloxacin or levofloxacin for a urinary tract or respiratory infection, taking them with yogurt completely neutralizes the drug. The medicine forms an insoluble mass, leaving your body entirely undefended against the invading infection. Always check your medication labels for dairy warnings. If you are taking an antibiotic or a thyroid hormone, consume your yogurt or cheese at least 2 hours before or 4 hours after your medication dose to guarantee the pill can dissolve properly. Moving on to number 3, steamed kale and fresh spinach. We are constantly told to eat our greens to protect our eyesight, brains, and cardiovascular health. But if you belong to the millions of Americans over 60 taking traditional blood thinners, a sudden love affair with kale smoothies can be life-threatening. The active superstar in these dark leafy greens is phylloquinone, universally known as vitamin K1. In a healthy body, vitamin K is the raw material your liver uses to create clotting factors. It's the body's natural way of stopping you from bleeding when you get a cut. However, medications like warfarin or Coumadin work by deliberately blocking vitamin K to keep your blood smooth and flowing, preventing strokes and blood clots. When you suddenly flood your system with a massive plate of steamed spinach or a dense kale juice, you override the medication completely. You give your liver an immense surplus of raw materials to create blood clots, rendering your blood thinner entirely useless and spiking your risk of a stroke. This does not mean you should avoid greens entirely. The absolute rule here is consistency, not elimination. If you typically eat half a cup of cooked broccoli or spinach 2 times a week, keep that exact same baseline. Your doctor calibrates your medication dosage to your typical diet. The danger only occurs when you go from eating 0 greens to consuming a large salad every single day. Number 2 is fresh bananas and avocados. Bananas and avocados are widely celebrated for their high potassium content, which is fantastic for smooth muscle function and general nerve conduction. Many adults over 50 intentionally eat them daily to help keep their blood pressure numbers in check. The issue arises when these fruits meet a specific class of blood pressure medications called ACE inhibitors, such as lisinopril or enalapril, or angiotensin receptor blockers, like losartan. These medications are exceptional at relaxing your blood vessels, but they do so by forcing your kidneys to hold on to potassium while excreting sodium. If you take these medications and simultaneously consume a high volume of bananas, avocados, or pure coconut water, your body cannot excrete the excess elemental potassium. It builds up silently in your blood, a condition known clinically as hyperkalemia. This directly disrupts the electrical signaling in your heart's ventricles. Severe hyperkalemia is a silent threat because it often lacks obvious external symptoms until it causes sudden heart palpitations, muscle weakness, severe nausea, or a dangerously irregular heartbeat. If you are prescribed an ACE inhibitor or an ARB, treat potassium-rich fruits as items that require moderation. Limit your intake to 1 small banana or half of a medium avocado per day. Avoid using potassium-based salt substitutes completely, as they can cause an immediate, dangerous spike in your blood potassium levels. We have reached our number 1 offender, the item most frequently missed or overlooked at the grocery store that poses the most direct threat to seniors. Grapefruit is an absolute nutritional powerhouse, but from a pharmacological standpoint, it is a metabolic wrecking ball. The active compounds responsible for this are a unique group of chemical derivatives called furanocoumarins, specifically bergamottin and naringin. These molecules possess the unique ability to bind to and irreversibly destroy the enzymes in your intestinal lining. When you eat grapefruit, you aren't just temporarily distracting these enzymes, you are completely wiping them out. Your body must completely create brand new enzymes to restore your baseline filtration capacity, a biological process that takes up to 72 hours. For anyone over 60 taking common cholesterol-lowering statins like Lipitor or Zocor, or calcium channel blockers for high blood pressure like amlodipine, this interaction is highly dangerous. Because your gut enzymes are entirely deactivated, the medication passes directly into your bloodstream with zero filtration. A single glass of grapefruit juice can cause the concentration of your medication to jump by up to 400%. This essentially turns your standard daily pill into a toxic fourfold overdose. This massive medication surge can lead to a severe clinical condition called rhabdomyolysis, the rapid, painful breakdown of your skeletal muscle tissue that can overload your kidneys and lead to acute renal failure. There is no safe window or separation rule for grapefruit. Because the enzymatic destruction lasts for 3 full days, if you take a medication that interacts with this system, you must eliminate grapefruit, grapefruit juice, and sodas containing real grapefruit extract entirely from your diet. Swap them out for safe citrus alternatives like sweet navel oranges, lemons, or limes. Let me tell you about a patient of mine named Frank. Frank came to see me when he was 68 years old. He was a retired high school teacher, incredibly sharp, and deeply committed to staying independent so he could hike with his grandkids. He was taking a moderate dose of atorvastatin for his cholesterol and an ACE inhibitor for his blood pressure. Both were working beautifully. But Frank started noticing a creeping deep ache in his calves and lower back. Within a month, the pain became so debilitating he could barely walk down his driveway. He was exhausted, terrified that his body was giving out permanently, and convinced he was rapidly losing his mobility due to old age. When we sat down and looked closely at his daily habits, we discovered the missing piece. To improve his health, Frank had recently started drinking a fresh glass of red grapefruit juice every single morning, believing it would help support his immune system. Without realizing it, he had completely shut down his gut enzymes. His standard statin pill was flooding his bloodstream at 4 times the intended strength, causing severe muscle tissue inflammation. We immediately stopped the grapefruit juice and switched him to fresh oranges. Within 2 weeks, his blood work returned to normal, the muscle aches completely vanished, and he was back on the hiking trails with his family. There was no magic in it. His body didn't need a new drug or an expensive treatment. It simply needed the right raw materials without a hidden chemical conflict interfering with its biological systems. Now, many folks ask me, Dr. Meyers, if whole foods can cause all these unpredictable interactions, shouldn't I just take isolated vitamin pills or synthetic supplements instead? My professional answer is a resounding no. Whole foods are vastly superior to expensive synthetic isolates. Think of a whole food like a full, beautifully coordinated orchestra. The vitamins, minerals, fiber, and polyphenols all work together in perfect harmony to support your cellular health. When you buy a synthetic pill, you are paying a high price for a single instrument playing at maximum volume, which your body often cannot absorb efficiently anyway. However, you must remember that these lifestyle adjustments, dietary tweaks, and healthy foods are designed for prevention and metabolic optimization. They are not a cure-all, and they are absolutely not a replacement for routine medical care. The dietary guidance provided today is for informational and educational purposes only. It does not replace professional medical advice, regular clinical screenings, colonoscopies, or mammograms. If you experience severe unexplained muscle pain, dark tea-colored urine, sudden chest pain, or an irregular heartbeat, do not wait for a dietary adjustment. Seek professional medical attention immediately. Always consult your primary care physician or a licensed pharmacist before modifying your prescribed medication schedule or making radical changes to your daily diet. To ensure your safety and protect your independence over the coming week, let's establish a simple 5-step action plan you can start today. First, gather every single prescription bottle you take and write down their exact names. Second, call your local pharmacist and ask if any of these medications interact with potassium, calcium, or the grapefruit enzyme pathway. Third, implement the 2-hour separation rule for your morning oatmeal, bran flakes, or high-fiber cereal. Fourth, keep your dark green leafy vegetables consistent throughout the week rather than making sudden changes. And fifth, replace all grapefruit products with fresh navel oranges or tangerines. As an extra clinical tip for better nutrient absorption, remember that many healthy, fat-soluble compounds require a small amount of healthy fat to be fully absorbed. Enjoying your meals with a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil or a small handful of walnuts significantly boosts your nutrient bioavailability. Taking control of your health is all about understanding the deep, fascinating science of how your body truly works. But while we're on the subject of protecting your cardiovascular system, there is another massive danger hiding right inside your kitchen cabinet. It's an ingredient commonly marketed as heart healthy that secretly damages your blood vessels and accelerates cellular rust twice as fast as refined sugar. Click on the next video appearing right here on your screen, and we will unpack exactly what this hidden danger is and how to remove it from your kitchen today. I'll see you right there.